Welcome to Egypt After Dark. The following tale is based on unverified folklore and is presented for entertainment only. Proceed with caution. The Jinn we fought, Merak, was bound by a sorcerer and answered to the clan of King Kelim. Hi, I'm Malik. I'm 20 years old, born and raised right here in Giza, Egypt. Forget the pyramids, forget the ancient history. I'm taking you inside a modern house that was ripped apart not by random fire, but by pure, distilled human evil. This is a true police report. A nightmare that lasted 4 months and started with one deceptive little teddy bear. Our family was blessed. Our success created a terrifying internal enemy. This enemy wasn't outside our door. They were sitting at our dinner table. The curse began the day a seemingly harmless gift, a small, red-bowed teddy bear, was handed to my little sister. Fire was set. It was a projectile of pure, directed hatred from someone we knew. We just didn't know who this was. The start of the war. The initial fires were calculated, ritualistic, and targeted. We cut the electricity, removed the gas, and eliminated every possible source of ignition. But the fires kept coming. We realized the ignition source wasn't material. It was spiritual. The fires always started exactly where the teddy bear had been placed earlier that day, or where my sister was standing. We stopped sleeping entirely. Imagine that, sitting in the suffocating dark, watching the walls, waiting for the fire to select its next victim. The sound of the plaster peeling, bubbling, from the spiritual heat of malice itself pushing through the cement. It was deeply personal. The Jinn was hunting my sister and me. There were direct assassination attempts that failed only due to constant vigilance. Once, a curtain in my sister's room burst into flames. My father tore her out of the bed. Another time, the carpet around my feet began to smoke. My uncle, a kind man, smothered the flames with his bare hands, burning himself badly to save me. We realized the sinister limitation. The Jinn's contract only allowed it to attack the children directly. It could burn the house, but it couldn't physically strike our parents. This Jinn wanted us dead, and our parents were our only shield against the unseen. The most terrifying part wasn't the fire itself. It was my niece. She started seeing things. Before every disaster, she would scream, "Fire is coming! Fire is coming!" Her predictions always came true. We believe that very young children often possess an uncorrupted vision. They can see the Jinn preparing their attacks. The fires always occurred after the 26th of the month. This was ritualistic timing. Religious leaders came and fled in terror. When the sheiks tried to communicate with the fire Jinn, they collapsed, screaming silently, or their noses would bleed. However, one older sheik, the strongest among them, stayed. In one session, the Jinn inside the teddy bear spoke. The entity identified himself as a fire Jinn named Merak, serving the clan of the most powerful king of the Jinn, Kelim. We couldn't understand the words, hearing only inhuman, guttural sounds. The sheik was sweating profusely, and his hand was badly burned. Merak forced a vow on him. "You must keep this secret. You can only reveal the identity once a life has been taken." The sheik never told us who the culprit was. He was bound by darkness. Then came the worst fire. My sister and I were alone in the house. The fire was everywhere. We heard our parents and my uncle outside, screaming, desperately trying to open the main door. But the door was sealed. The Jinn had locked the exit. I tried to comfort my sister, but the smoke was overwhelming. My sister collapsed. We were seconds from death. Suddenly, the main door swung open with a terrible sound. My uncle's wife appeared. The Jinn allowed her entry, assuming she was there to witness our destruction. She never truly wanted us dead. As she saw my sister unconscious, her conscience snapped back. It was she who grabbed the cursed bear. She ran out, knowing breaking the contract meant her own death. She doused the doll in fuel and set it on fire, but the bear did not burn. It emerged perfectly intact. Realizing burning the vessel wasn't enough, she found a stone and she separated the bear's head from its body. In that instant, the entity was released and the curse was finally broken. But 2 hours later, hell opened up. The Jinn's clan was seeking vengeance. The magician, exposed, instantly diverted the clan's rage onto his client. The fire consumed the woman who brought the hatred into our home. She died knowing she had saved us. Only after her body was consumed did the sheik finally break his vow. He delivered the full story. The woman who set this curse is your uncle's wife. She first sought a magician for help conceiving, but he failed, then convinced her that the only cure for her despair was the envy of watching your success turn to ashes. We learned the truth only when it was too late to forgive her. What we were fighting was not a ghost. It was a Jinn. In our culture, Jinns are beings made of smokeless fire. This is why water and extinguishers failed. This specific type of Jinn was a Mersal, a powerful entity. The Jinn we fought, Merrick, was bound by a sorcerer and answered to the clan of King Kelem. The fight was against a sentient weapon designed for malice. The house was destroyed, but we were alive. Her life was the price of our freedom, but the tragedy was not over. The aunt's mother, the one with the Romani gypsy roots, arrived at the scene. She stood over the smoking ashes of our home, staring directly at my father. She didn't scream. Now I promise you, your family will live in hell for the rest of your lives. The curse has just begun, and I am the one who will finish it. This new human threat began right as the supernatural one ended. We have since sought out the strongest remaining sheiks and have fortified our lives with intense spiritual protections, knowing that the Gypsy Mother is a mortal enemy who has the knowledge to strike again. This house in Giza still stands as a permanent warning. We survived the fire, but we know the fight is not over. We live every day waiting for the true consequence of that revenge. The ending of our story has not been written yet. If you want to hear the story of the caller who lures people into the Nile at night, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, and remember, check who you trust inside with you. And that's the truth and the story. At least a part one can tell. I'm Malak, and this has been Egypt After Dark.